But we've got a problem. There's no soybeans going through the elevator because we got plugged up. There's a chunk down there at the bottom. Got to try and bust that up and then chip away at that ledge to where the rest of this grain will flow on down. All right, go ahead and throw it down. Is that as long as you can find? Throw it down here. Over here to where I am. All right, finally, after a bunch of probing, I found the center well. Been ramming this thing up and down there to break it up. Now we're getting flow out of here. But my elevator shut off. If you can't bump it around and get it going like I normally do, the only other thing we can do is take the plate off the bottom of the elevator here and let grain come out there on the concrete. Then just got to shovel it up later. So I'm gonna try it a couple times. If it don't work, that's what we're gonna do, drain the elevator. All right, come on, baby, start up, please. I'm trying to pull a little bit better than it was last night. Maybe any luck we can bump it around and it'll come on through. You can see it moving in there. It's bumping around a little bit. Alright, it's just gotten to where it's just not even hardly moving at all when I bump it. I don't know what the problem is. Anyway, engine's gonna be back with a new truck and I can't waste a lot of time on this, so we're gonna go ahead and right here at the bottom of the elevator. Alright. Have green bins, they said. It'd be great, they said. Make lots of money, they said. They didn't tell me about all the fun stuff that comes with green bins. Start now. Oh, there we go. And just a top. Alright, what we're doing here is measuring the amp load on the motor. I suspect I might have a bad place in the chain, maybe it's bad. And what I'm doing is I'm timing whenever I see some amp load spikes. Alright, see here it's spiking up right here, minute 16. So if it does it again at 2 minutes 32 seconds, then I know I got a bad place to change. Now I've only got it at about maybe a half a low now, and it's running between 16 and 17 amps pretty consistently. Alright, should be coming up on the bad spot to change if my theory is right. Yep, there it goes right there, spiking up again. There we go, one more go around. That should put us at about 3 minutes, 45 seconds. Alright, should be going up here shortly again. Yep, there it goes up. See, we're spiking over 17 amps. So if I had the gate fully open like we normally do, you know, the amperage would have spiked up definitely enough to choke the elevator up and shut it down again. As it is with a half load, it causes it to spike, but not quite high enough to choke it up and shut everything down. So the way this loop system works is inside my loop pipe, I got a big chain with paddles on it straight every so often. And you know, the grain falls down there and those paddles pulling along. Well, if I've got a section of chain that's got the bad paddles either half broken off or paddle stitched completely, then all that weight of grain of multiple sections of paddles is resting on one paddle. That's what causes the average spike. So we went through there probably 3 years ago. We replaced all the paddles that need to be replaced. Apparently I need to do it again. But that's not a job for today with winds 11 miles an hour and really cold outside. We'll just run this elevator at half capacity until we get all the lean off, and maybe I'll get on it just 24 weeks on. Alright, now we got the loose back run again. Let me show you just what we're dealing with. Ooh, that's another man time. Anyway, y'all saw me the other day trying to probe the center well, and I could not push through the truck. So what we did is we opened up the side draw here to pull all this down. And luckily, it was able to come pretty close to the bottom before they jammed up, and I just hit here with my PVC pipe. I started on this one here, closest to the door, getting it pretty clear to pull all this down to the draw. And then my second one, got in, took away with the third one, and now I think that's still well with hopefully got the thing down a little up. Hopefully I'll be able to learn. Hopefully I'll be able to find the hole. So this is what we're dealing with. Big chunks like this right there falling down and blocking the opening. Alright, I was finally able to strike gold there. It's slowly trickling in there. That's better than what I had. We just had a avalanche collapse. Almost got me. Got my camera. Like I said, working in grain bins dangerous. Right now you can kind of see where we were working with, what we were trying to flush through. Ain't no way I'm shoving this through that right there. That's just right over the top of the well. Luckily I let it go in from the side a little bit and get it cleared out. So we can get this drain down. Now I'm going to pick those up and throw them over there where we can bust them up. Down to the center well. So you say we didn't have much of an opening to work with right there. Now that we're all the way down to the center well, we're going to get cleaned out here around the motor and try and get all this that the auger's laying under, try and get it cleared out to where the auger can start up, and we should be good to go then. Alright, glad we're done because my PVC pipe that originally was about 7-8 feet long. It's now been whittled away to about 4 feet long from jamming it down in there, and then just got salt on the paddles and breaking off.
Hey, be careful.
Avalanche warning.
Yeah.
Normally the bend seat's the hardest part.
This is ridiculous.
I think the bend seat's going to be a lot easier than what we've done the last couple days.
Oh, it's awesome. Lesson learned. Don't put stuff in here. That's green.
Alright, we finally got the center well cleared out and most of the green cleared out around the auger, so let's try to hit this floor auger here. See what else is wrong. Hopefully we'll have this look now. Well, I thought we was on the home stretch, but apparently I was wrong. Things can't be that easy. My cut power cord to my sweep there bounced off the support here, and naturally it got caught. It got caught in the auger, ripped it in half. No big deal if it hadn't been preceded by all the problems we had with chunks. This ain't the first time this has happened. Whenever I finally recover from the financial hit of buying that module picker, I think I'm gonna put me some direct drive electric ones in here that are permanently mounted and we don't have to run power cords into. Thank God it's Friday and I've got a few days to recuperate before I gotta get back in these bins. Tell you what, grain bins can be an awesome way to really add value to your crop. You know, you're only going to produce a limited number of bushels in your lifetime, and my philosophy is I want to try and maximize the amount of money I get for every single bushel. But daggum, they sure can be a pain in the butt sometimes. All right, take 4 after just replacing the whole wire.
Nope.
All right, it wasn't the wire, it is something else. I have no idea, unless the motor's bad. So that's kind of the sound that other motor make when it went bad. It might have shorted something out when the wire got caught and torn too. Well, it's Monday morning. I've semi-recuperated over the weekend from our ordeals and the grain bins late last week. But the problem's not going to solve themselves. Let's see if I can get it figured out this time. All right, we know it's not the power cord because I replaced the power cord. I don't think it's in the motor. Problem is we're not getting power out of the overload here going into the box. And I think the problem's up here in my starter. So I'm gonna try and test voltage coming out of it and making sure we got 480 volts on each phase. All right, we got 480 between 1 and 2, but it trips the breaker almost immediately. All right, we've only got 230 between 2 and 3. You only got 230 between 1 and 3. So, all right, going into the starter, 480, 480, 480. So the problem is in the starter. Got one leg in there that's bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rob a starter off one of my other grain bins here because Martin Luther King Day, I don't think the electrical store is open. Swap it out, see if it works. If it is, tomorrow I'll go buy a new one and put it on the bin that we stole off of. But always safety first. Cut the power off. I really don't want to experience what 480 volts going through the body feels like. I've heard it's not too fun. All right, just to verify, we got no voltage. Yep, everything's good. All right, it is now safe to operate on.
Well, I guess it's a great day to be fixing a hole in the tire. Yeah, we got our load of beans hauled this morning, but now we pulled back up to the farm and I heard some air leaking out of the tire, so yeah, we're at Best One getting the tire patched. So I'm gonna show you all that here in a second, but we got a lot ahead of us today. We gotta service the sprayer, and then we gotta work on that daggum grain bin auger as well. Matt's replacing the starter right now in it, and hopefully that'll get it spinning so we can at least get another truckload going or something. But yeah, that's today. We got one load of beans going, an empty bin waiting for me, a hole in a tire, and a sprayer to be serviced. Well, as you can see, it went from plugging a tire to changing a tire because they pulled off the tire. We got the hole all lined up and everything, and they pulled off the tire, and the inside wires were showing just a little bit, and with all the amount of weight that this trailer has in it and how long we got to go hauling these beans, we just rather be safer than sorry. So we're not going to put a brand new tire on it, but they do have some great used tires over there, and we're just going to snag one of those so we can get the rest of this bean hauling going. And yeah, that's what we're doing. It turned into a little bit more of a project than we wanted, but it's got to be done. And hopefully in the near future, or after bean season and everything, this trailer will get in alignment. We'll see. It does kind of need one. I mean, the insides of the tires, they're a little slicker than the outside, but hey, we gotta haul some beans. Well, all right, just like that, we got a new tire put on, hole free, and we're ready to haul some beans. Now let's get back to the farm and see how Matt's going on that daggone starter.
All right, I got the new one installed there. It's a different brand than the other one. It had wires going in different positions, so I had to do a little rerouting, but I think I got everything back in the right position. Also got an overload going to replace that too. Because obviously the overload didn't work on protecting the starter, if that's in case of the problem. All right, moment of truth. Uh-oh. Nothing. Oh, we had to hit the reset button there. All right, take two. Yay! Back in action. You regretting taking that job now?
Not yet, but it sure is dusty. Get some workout.
All right, things starting to look a little bit better in here. Normally we dread the bin sweep part and all the shoveling and everything, but after the ordeal we had breaking up that stuff and getting down to the center wells, this part ain't so bad. So hopefully right now all our problems are over, and all it is just a bunch of shoveling till we get this bin cleaned out. empty. Learned a valuable lesson this year, and a mistake I don't plan on repeating in the future. But we're not done just quite yet hauling beans. Remember back this harvest, I rented one of these bins out. This bin right here. Yeah, we got about 13,000 bushels of beans we're going to custom haul for this farmer, make a little bit of extra income, so not quite done yet.
Well guys, we've officially gotten all the beans hauled off to the river. We still have about 13,000 bushels left in a bin, but they're not our beans, but we're still gonna haul them. They're going to a closer granary, but we got all our beans hauled, right? All of our 28,000 beans are in that granary right now, headed to somewhere on a barge. But for now, we're gonna hit close, tell Helga a good job. We didn't have any major breakdowns or anything too terrible, besides the grain bin getting clogged up, but that wasn't that bad. But we got them all hauled off and we're ready to start a new year of soybeans.
Well, you ready to go back to making some shorter hauls?
Oh yeah, this was a little closer, so it's gonna
You think you can find your way back to Tyson again?
I hope not. No, I'm just kidding, but yeah, it should get this 13,000 going pretty quick.
Anyway, if you remember back from this harvest, because of the drought, we had an abundance of storage, so offered to rent it out to some local farmers, and actually had one person take me up on the offer. Anyway, our 20,000 bushel 30-foot bin here, we got about 13,000 bushels of soybeans in there. We were storing for them, and they just contracted me to go ahead and haul it because they don't have any trucks themselves. So we got 13,000 bushels going right down the road to Tyson, same place we carried the corn, and should be able to make pretty good. And should be able to make pretty quick work of it and be done with hauling the 2022 crop, finally be done with it. Day. There's a bunch.
I think I got about 7. That was pretty good, I think.
All right.
Half the bin done, I believe.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely get down to that bin sweep tomorrow. I don't know if we'll get it finished up, but we'll get pretty close.
Pretty close.
Right, you get filled up fuel, it gets you loaded up in the morning. I'll take a real good look at this area right here. It's not going to look the same anymore. Building crew out here got started around 7 o'clock, and they plan to get this building done by around noon, 1 o'clock. We'll check back here in a couple hours. All right, we got down to the bin sweep on this one. Definitely no problems like in the other one. Of course, that farmer loaded beans in here, did not put any wet grain, so this is a whole lot easier. Oh crap. I forgot I robbed a fuse out of this one. We should only have probably about 2 truckloads in this bin because it's a lot smaller diameter bin, 30 foot. Probably only take a little over 2 truckloads to run this bin sweep all the way around. All right, all our bins are now empty. Yeah, sometimes grain bins ain't fun, especially after you
Do
gotta
that crap 47 times.
clean up another boo-boo.
That was your boo-boo. That wasn't my boo-boo.
We gotta get a new chain
No,
in our
you
loop,
don't say.
in our loop system, or go through and replace every single paddle.
No. Look at me. You're getting a new chain. We're getting a new chain.
Is it coming out of your salary?
I don't give a rat's behind.
Okay.
What salary?
Y'all heard it.
What salary?
Y'all heard it.
What salary?
She said she paid for it out of her own pocket.
I make 50 cents an hour.
Let me call the salesman. Well, it looks like you'll be working every hour for the next year.
This thing is 12 years old. It probably needs a new chain.
11 years old. It's had 11 crops through it. Yeah, I've already got a call into the salesman to give me some prices. So.
Yeah, because we got paddles breaking off and everything else. I mean, it doesn't matter. When you replace the paddles, the chain still wore out and it needs to be.
The chain's not really wore out, but you go to replacing 1,000 paddles.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, me either. So. Anyway, that'll just about wrap up this video. Before we do that, let's go check on that building. It is now 1 o'clock. They started at 7. Looks like they might be loading some stuff on the trucks. Before we check out the shed, yep, that time of year, got more high-priced inputs rolling in. That's liquid 32% nitrogen gonna go on our wheat crop here real soon. Just a tad cheaper than last year. Not a whole lot though. But it is what it is. We were able to make money last year with high prices. Hopefully we'll be able to do it again this year. Yep, they done. I mean, like 6 hours, 6.5 hours. Wow. Those guys don't let any grass grow under their feet. Now, this isn't the finished version. Like I said, this is going to be a shed for strictly for the Zombie Trail paintball, the trailers and stuff. Right now, we're storing 3 of the trailers in the off season inside the gym building. But plan is when we get this thing fully finished, which this thing will be longer, they're going to add on like a third more length next year whenever they can afford it. But then we'll have a longer shed and it'll all be enclosed with doors and everything. And the plan is get done tonight. Don't have to pull off any paintball guns or anything. Just pull the tractors and trailers straight in here. The air compressor will be in here. Just go hook it directly to the tank, so we don't have to take off tanks and fill them up and put them back on and everything. So once it's all said and done, it's gonna look pretty nice. Tell you what, that construction crew though,
That's crazy.
they get it done.
6 hours.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know if I could have set the post myself in 6 hours. Anyway, guys, that's what's going on the farm. Done hauling. No more dust mask. Clean this dirt off my nose. And I guess next video up, well, I don't know what the next video up is. Might be us spraying wheat, might be us in the shop, or I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.